ndemu.
And he flies in a private plane. And a little over a year ago, his name's George Gardner, and his aviator by himself was soloing and fell in the plane and bursted his knees, his ankles, and his legs and feet were stiff, and he walked like this, his aviator. And he was present when the prayer was made.
Ni yeye utuendele munde ka wende wankayende. Nengu kukadi kuhita habwihi ne chidimu chishima, jina jenda George Gardner. Nengu yeye, mwende shuwande ka wende. Mwikalan kayenda, uvo wenda uyamun kayenda, akudishinda inindek. Kuzaji ke ibinu ne tuhombu, kimi kolu yenda ni makasa kushala bibika yabala, ne kukale ukadi wenda mushindu ewu. Mwende shuwenda wande kao. Nengu yeye yahu uvohu hakenjibo di sambiladi.
And he had moved himself out of the hall where the banquet was, and they had got him a room close to so he wouldn't have trouble walking back and forth.
Ne uvo muha tukanka yenda muchibambalu muvodide genze kelamu muya hambelu. Nenku baba muhete la henda chibambalu habui yahu bwakikadini lutatu lwakwenda bwakutokwa lukato.
And here was his testimony. He went to his room and sat down, not even being a Christian. And he said, somehow or another, I believe that little bald-headed guy that preached up there tonight. And said he began to notice his toes begin to shake. And he jumped to his feet every whit whole.
Kadibujadi kibwende buvunu nkweu. Uvo muye muchibamba luchende ni musombela hanshi. Kaina shamwene Kristo to. Hikwamba ini mumushindu kampanda ni kansanga memendingi itabuja kalumiana ka mutu dibalaka vakayisha kuntu kwa kajilo lwadi aku. Kiyeye ni wakabanga kumona ni bana benda bankasa bakabanga kunyunga. Kiyeye kutuhika ekwimana kulu. Monto hibu mukabujima.
Standing out there glorifying God. Standing, raising his legs up and down like that and on his sides of his feet and everything, just testifying to the glory of God.
Mwima na hambe luahu utumbisha nzambi. Mwima nyina kulus. Wambulule mikolo mulu ni hanshi mushindwehu. Nekunseka ya makasa nibiku wa mbionso. Mwikala nufila bujadiki wabutumbi bwa nzambi.
Once again before we pray for the sick. I was staying with Brother Arganbright, and my good friend Leo and Jean knows what phone calls are. Buzzing the phone, and Brother Arganbright would answer, and you can't be everywhere. But it happened to be that I picked up the phone. I believe everything works in God's providential way, don't you believe?
Bukwa bubwa luka bidi, kumpala kwa twetu kusambijila babedi. Tuwa basomba ni mwane tu Arganbright. Nenku mulunda wanyu mwimpe Leo ni Jean mbamanye chili mabikila ku telefone ni nchinyi telefone udila nenku mwane to Arganbright wandamona nenku dudibamanyes kwene mwakwikala mujabanyeto kadi kwenze kabine mema kwambule telefone mmendingi itabuje ni malonso adienzeka anumushindu ukadi nzami mujanjile kumona. I believe
that's why the young lady's here. I believe that's why you're all here. I believe that's why I'm here. And we're met together for the glory of God. For some reason, why did we come over the icy grounds to be here this morning?
Ndingi itabuja ni kibwa chinyi ina banza mutekete udikabaka. Ndingi itabuja ni kibwa chinyi nwenu bonso abanu udikabaka. Ndingi itabuja ni kibwa chinyi meme udikabaka. Kibwa chinyi tudibadi sanga wabutumbi bwa nzambi mbwa kabingi la kampanda chitu dibavuile tuenda tuhichile mumyaba ya maboya mashikan chinyi bwa kwikala hamudi ndemu.
So I picked up the phone because Brother Arganbright wasn't in the room, and he said, I'd like to speak to Brother Branham. I said, I am Brother Branham.
Kimema kwambule telefone bwa mwane to Arganbright kavamuchibamba lwa muto nenkwa une ndiji nga kukwakule ni mwane to Branham. Mema kwamba ni mema mwane to Branham.
He is a Spanish man. He said, sir, I know it's unreasonable almost for me to ask the question I'm going to ask. He said, I can imagine how people pull and so forth.
ye yawu uvo muntu mulime wa chi-espanyol ye kwamba ne mukalenga ndi mumayini mbwalu butatakana hamwaha bwakwelelu konko lundi njinga kwelelu yeye ne ndimo akudifwanyikijila mudi bantu bakukoka ni bikwabu.
But said, I'm a missionary in Mexico. And said, back up here, I live here in La Crescenta. And I just learned a few hours ago that you were in the city. And said, I brought my baby back to try to get it to you or Brother Roberts or some of the brethren who pray for the sick.
Kadi yeye ni memantu missionaire mu Mexica. Yeye ni lwa munemu ndi musombele munemu mula Crescenta. Kadi nye umfuma kujumvwa kukadi ndambu wa meba mamani wewa uvo muchimengemu. Hii kwamba ini ndi mwalu kile ni mwana ni wa mudiboku. Wakuteta kufika nenda kudi wewa anyi kudi mwane Robert anyi kudi umwa wakubana betu badi basambe jila babedi.
And he said, being it's my baby, my faith, I guess, has just been a little weak. He said, my baby is yet not 4 months old and is dying with cancer. And something said to me, go to that baby.
Kiyeye ni bumudibini mwana anyi mulela jita busha janyi ngelemejine indishala nuditeketa ndambu. Yeye ni mwene mwana anyi wa mudibo kwawu kimwaji kukumbasha ngondu inaito kadi nye ufoni cancer. Kichintu kampanda kungambile ni ndakudi mwana awu.
Well, I said, sir, I'll get Brother Argenbright and you tell him where the baby's at. I'll meet you. So I get Brother Argenbright and he tells him.
Munga kamba, mukalenga, nengangata mwane to Argenbright. Nenkwe umwambile mwaba udi mwana mwina usanganyibwa. Nentu takene nende. Hananku kwangata yi. Nema kwangata mwane to Argenbright. Nenku kumambila yi.
So we got in the car and went down. And I met his little wife. And him being Mexican, though he didn't look it, he was white, skinned, fair. But he was a Mexican, which Mexicans many times are blondes because they come between the Spanish and the Indians, and there's some of those Indians with just blonde, Snow White. And then his wife was Finnish, strictly blonde, very sweet little woman.
Kitwe tukubwele mu machine kuyako. Nekimema kutwilanga ni mukajenda muteketawo. Henda mwikala mwene Mexica, kadika yini mwene kelo auto. Uvoni dikoba di toka diato. Kadi uvo mwene Mexica. Bituni bene Mexica misangu ya bunyi, batuni nsuki ya mvuangala. Balu badi hanka chiha, ba Espanyol ni ba Indien. Kadi kutuba mba kubena enda, batonu nsuki ya mvuangala. Mitoka bunesh. Kadi mukajenda uvoye ya mwene Finland. Wansuki ya mvuangala, hamvuangala. Mukaje mutekete wakalolo kamene mene.
And I went to the hospital with him to see his baby. When I walked into the room, they had it right next to the nurse's headquarters.
Kimema kuyeni muluma ukulu hitaji. Wakamona mwane ndo wamujibo kwao. Ndimwenza numbwele muchibamba lwamu. Vamuteka nuhabwi himene mene ni biro bya baminganga.
For the little baby, yet just 4 months old, and it was born with malignant tumors in the jaws, which swelled out approximately that far from its face. Like that, just out like that.
Bwalu, mwana mukesawu, na shemuchibo yanu ni ngondu inayamu, kadivo mule dibwa ne biuje bya kanser kalufu mumbanga yendamu. Divo biula muntanta wawi hachilaha ne kwisu kwende. Mushindo ewu. Biha tukanu mushindo awu.
And the doctors had tried to operate, and great big deep scars had cut all around his little throat, all the way around. It didn't stop it, only it run it up into its tongue.
Nenkubanga ngabuka bakava batete kuhanda. Nenkubibangu binene biondo ke biva bikoseka munyungulikili yonso wa mumini wendawu. Kunyungulikili konso wako. Chika chaka kimanyika to. Chikavanu, chikabweja to, ni muluji milwendamu.
And the little jaws hanging like that, the big deep scars, and his little tongue, little mouth not over that big, and his tongue probably that big, swollen, have pushed out about that far and turned black, and shut off the breathing from the nostrils coming down when it swelled up in the roof of its mouth.
Nous vous saluons cet après-midi dans le précieux nom de notre Seigneur et Sauveur Jésus-Christ. L'Éternel, notre Dieu, vous bénisse très richement. Il est temps de commencer notre adoration de cet après-midi. Nous vous prierons de vous tenir debout. Et sous l'atmosphère de la parole que nous venons d'écouter de la bouche de son saint prophète William Marion Branham, chacun de nous va méditer et après nous allons entrer dans la prière.